Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Steimer. I'm the Chief Development Officer at the Arizona Animal Welfare League, and I am here today because we have someone who is going to offer you some great tips and ways to get involved, particularly with our 2020 Walk to Save the Animals. And I'd like to introduce Samantha McAlpin. She is a member of our league, has been a volunteer in so many different ways for the animals here at AAWL. And she's really going to talk to all of us about how to win those friends and influence people to donate to your Walk to Save Animals team. So I will be turning that over to Samantha to share some of her tips. And one of the first things I wanted to share is with Samantha that there are 5 Ws that she believes are really crucial in fundraising. And so she's going to share more on those 5 Ws. And I will turn it over now to Samantha. Hi, and welcome, and thank you.
Hi.
Samantha, you talk a lot about having 5 Ws of fundraising and that there are 5 of them. And why don't you take some time and talk us through what those 5 Ws are?
Sure, and thanks for having me. So a lot of apologies to Dale Carnegie, who I stole the Win Friends and Influence People from. But in my opinion, the 5 Ws of fundraising are pretty simple. It's who says what, to whom, via what channel, and for what effect. So with who, I just encourage you to be who you are. I'm an attorney in town who really likes puns and really likes my dog Baloo. So that's the type of person I am, whatever way that I'm trying to raise money for AAWL. The what is easy. It's AAWL. It's to help homeless pets. So it's really easy for me to do that. To whom is how I choose my audience. So I speak differently to people at my law firm than I do to my college roommate. And I try to make sure that my audience is clear when I'm describing how much I love AAWL. And the same thing goes for what channel. So I sound different on an email than I do in a social media post, and I certainly sound very different from that in a phone call. It's important to make sure that your whom and your what channel align. It's not easy for me to get a hold of a senior partner at my law firm through Instagram, for example. And then finally, you need to know what you want. So it's great for me to talk all day about how wonderful AAWL is, but what I want is for people to support my walk team. And I want them to do that by joining the team. I want them to do that by donating to AAWL. And I want people to do that by helping me raise awareness by posting on their own social media pages about our upcoming walk.
That's great. Thank you for sharing those. Now, I would say that there is a 6th W, and I really think the most important W, and that's really knowing your why. Would you share some more about this and how you've worked that into your apps and getting people to donate and support this effort?
Sure. So the why is so easy for me. The why is that AAWL is an amazing organization. And when I'm building my why, I'm a word person. So I sit down and I write 2 short paragraphs that explain to people what exactly their money is going to do if they choose to donate to AAWL. And you can see on this screen exactly how I do that. So I love AAWL because we save over 4,000 homeless dogs and cats every year. I love AAWL because we help to reduce shelter populations by helping people keep animals in their homes with low-cost veterinary services, dog training, and children's classes. And then the other why is that this is a really special time of year for AAWL. It's the Walk to Save Animals. It's my favorite time of year. It's also my wedding anniversary, so what's not to like? And this year is a different year. We have a virtual walk, and the why is even more important now because although we won't all be able to be together in Tempe Beach Park, the needs that AAWL are no different. So this why, this 2 paragraphs, is my own best effort in my voice to tell people why AWL matters and why the walk matters. And then what I like to do from here is tailor this 2 paragraph blip to any audience who I think might help me in my cause, which is to be the best fundraiser for the walk that I can. So from there, I adapt this 2 paragraph message to a bunch of different people. Typically, I start by communicating with other attorneys at my office. I'm really lucky to work for a law firm that supports me with a lot of my charitable desires, and Right now, that's AAWL. So the first thing that I do is I draft this paragraph, and then I put it into a memo to some of the other partners at my office to say, let's as a group make sure that we make it easier for other people to join in my walk team. So that's what this looks like for me. You will see that in the middle of this memo, there's my paragraph again. I've said, here's AWL, here's how I'm involved in it, and here's how my law firm, Gus Rosenfeld, can benefit. And one of the great things that my firm does is sponsor about 20 employees to join a walk team every year. It's a fun event for everybody to get out together and socialize out of the office, and it feels good because we're helping AAWL. I then take that 2-paragraph blip and I send it to my nearest and dearest over email. And I apologize if you look closely at this, you're going to see some really awful puns. I am a dad joke lover at heart, so this is my pup date that I send every year, every year on the Walk to Save Animals. But you will see the same 2 paragraphs that I used in my memo to the other partners at my office right here. I talk about exactly what we do in the community, and I talk about what the walk is, and I try to emphasize that you don't need to be an Arizona resident to be a member of the walk team. You just need to love me and love animals, and that's a pretty easy ask for the people who I'm closest to. After I'm done sending out my email to my friends and family, the next thing I do is I start going to my social media channels. And in addition to being a member of the league, I'm a volunteer at our Chandler shelter, so I get to take a lot of pictures with some pretty darn cute puppies. So I have an abundance of pictures like this, but if you look closely, this is the exact same information just put into bite-sized pieces. So I typically start out with a series of stories on Instagram explaining what AAWL is and showing just how cute the animals that we're helping are. And I'm lucky, I also have a lot of pictures of the last walk that I participated in where we had a group of about 25 people come out and help us. But I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm using the same words, just in a different way to impact people who I interact with on social media, which typically tend to be my peers. And then I do the exact same thing on Facebook. So this is the Facebook post that I used this year to kind of kick off my big ask to my friends and family on Facebook. You again will see the same language that I was talking about previously. I've got my why AAWL matters, and I've got my why the walk matters this year in particular. And I have a really cute picture of Bullet, who was one of my very favorite tripods from AAWL last year. It was a special case. He had to have a leg amputated and needed a special family to help him after that, and AAWL fixed his leg, helped him with training classes, and then helped him find the perfect family. And it's really easy for me to share that over social media because I have this cute picture and this great story. I love AAWL. I think that the people who know me know that I love AAWL, and I like to remind myself that if I don't encourage them to help me help homeless animals, I'm disappointing them. I'm not giving them the opportunity to be a part of this great organization. 2020 is a hard year. I know that cash is not in ample supply for a lot of people, and I think it's important to be really respectful of that. But just because you can't donate to my walk team doesn't mean that you can't share the URL and perhaps encourage somebody in a different situation to be able to give. And it also doesn't mean that you can't still be involved in the shelter. You can give of your time, you can give of your talent, and you can give of your treasure. And it's an honor to be able to share that with people who I care about, whether they're people I work with, friends, family, or the person who sat next to me in freshman Spanish and is still lucky enough to be my Facebook friend. So that's how I do it. And it's a pleasure to get to share it with all of you. I hope it's helpful. And I'm also happy if you send any questions in back to this email to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Samantha. And as you can all tell, she is a great supporter and volunteer for AAWL. And we are so glad to have her a part of it. And guess what? She gave you tons of tips today. And like she said, any way you want to get involved in this walk, you have the ability now to go out there and use some of these ideas to help fundraise, but also get involved in a way that helps the organization. And there are so many different ways. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you all participate in this year's walk.